We watched it, so you don't have to. Let's just go ahead and dive in.
How dare you? What a hater, dude.
Only tonight was EU with Andrews. Riley says it wasn't
I'm
as
here.
good as Droids.
I think me and Jeremiah are on the same page in this one.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Wizard episode of the Empire Radio Podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And like I said in the intro, we watched it so you don't have to. And that's right, we're talking about the Ewoks cartoon, episode 1, The Cries of the Trees. That's what we're doing, and we're just going to go ahead and dive in and see how this goes, because we've had a few preliminary conversations right before we started recording, and I'm kind of surprised because I think our opinions have changed, have completely done a 180 from what they were for Droids, which is very interesting to me, because Droids, we'll get into this when we go over the brief history, but Droids was like they were brother and sister cartoons. They came out at the same time.
And one was better than the other.
Yeah, one was better than the other. Anyways, this might actually be one of the first things that I really don't have a great opinion of in Star Wars. But anyways, we can get into that in a little bit. So guys, let's start with our thoughts. Jeremiah,
Well,
it would be an honor.
Do you have like the background information though, or is it all covered from last week?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that first if you'd like.
Yeah, just.
I was for whatever reason I thought I would ask you guys and then we would go into background information. But You're totally right. That's what we did last time. So that's what we're gonna do. So a lot of this overlaps with Droids. Basically, Ewoks was commissioned and was in development at the same time as Droids. George Lucas liked what happened with the cartoon and the holiday special. He commissioned
Same artist?
No, different studio, I believe.
Cheaper studio, probably. Hopefully.
Actually, no, it is the same studio, Nelvana.
It looks way different.
It does. I mean, I'm sure there was different illustrators.
Well,
but it was
true.
the same.
That's
it was
fair.
The same studio for sure.
That's fair.
So Ewoks is an animated television series that follows the adventures of the Ewoks of Bright Tree Village prior to the Battle of Endor. So this is pre Return of the Jedi. The primary reoccurring villains are Morag, the Tolga Witch, and the Ewoks' rival species, the Dulux. Produced by Nelvana on behalf of Lucasfilm Limited, Ewoks was broadcast on ABC from 1985 to 1986. The first season was advertised as simply Ewoks and was aired as a part of Ewoks and Droids Adventure Hour, whereas the second season was advertised as the all-new Ewoks. So if you're watching the Droids episode, you would know that Droids did not get a second season for whatever reason. Actually, we know a few of the reasons. We discussed them. But, you know, between the two of these, I'm now a little salty. But we'll get to that in a second. So, Droids didn't get a second season. Ewoks did. And then when Ewoks Season 2 was airing, the first season of Droids was airing during that Ewoks and Droids Adventure Hour spot.
Does it have the price on how much Ewoks was? Because Droids was like, what?
Very expensive.
$600,000 an episode.
$600,000, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the catch. It says here that it was estimated that each hour-long pair of Droids and Ewoks episodes cost approximately $500,000 to $600,000 to produce. So
So
it was the two of them. It was pretty much $500,000 to $600,000 per segment of Ewoks and Droids Adventure Hour.
So both shows combined.
Yeah, I mean, it's still very expensive.
Yes, very.
Very, very expensive. Um, so I'm just gonna skim. I'm looking at StarWars.fandom.com. They've actually got a surprisingly extensive amount of information on this show. So I'm gonna skim and hit some of the facts, some like 30,000 foot view stuff. So production began in May of 1984. So like I mentioned, it ran from 85 through 86. So production started a year earlier, excuse me. Took about a year to produce the first season. Same thing with Droids. George Lucas was in communication with the producers, but was not involved in the day-to-day stuff. He laid out the basic ideas, but that was kind of it. He wanted the Ewoks culture to be based on themes universal to Earth, mythology, and religion, and suggested the crew read The Hero with 1,000 Faces and The Uses of Enchantment as references. Writer Paul Dini, who wrote the episode that we're covering tonight, reflected on the sessions with George. He said, in my first meeting with George, one of the things we kept coming back to was that the Ewoks would have a sense of community and continuity. Though the main characters from the saga films were off limits, the writers were given almost complete creative freedom to develop the Ewoks beyond Return of the Jedi. The crew reimagined the Ewok characters for the animated format, giving each Ewok a unique, distinguishable personality and distinctive features. The stories were often inspired by Lord of the Rings, Pogo, and the Uncle Scrooge stories. So I actually haven't seen. I've seen way more of Droids than I have of Ewoks. Like I briefly remember having an Ewoks VHS that I rented. We were talking about the whole rental experience last time. I did rent it. I have very little memories of it, and that's about it. So I've seen. I would imagine once I get farther into the series, if I ever do, like stuff will jog my memory, and I'll be like, "Oh, this is the thing." Like I remember this, but for now, I've seen way more of Droids than Ewoks. So it may get better. Who knows? If they have a story inspired by Lord of the Rings, it can't be terrible, you know. So, anyways, for visual reference, Lucasfilm had the crew travel to Muir Woods National Monument, a location near Skywalker Ranch, where the indoor scenes were filmed for Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, just for natural reference and stuff like that. So they went out and took a nice hike. Said, "Hey, this is your inspiration." So for the second season, Lucasfilm moved a majority of the production to their own studios and thus exerted more direct control over producing the series than Nelvana. Production started on season 2 late in 1985, and most of the new episodes were shorter in length and now focused on the core characters of Wicket, Tebow, Nisa, Latara, with the other characters either playing lesser roles or written out entirely. Changes were made to better distinguish the Ewoks from one another and to make them more distinctive. Okay, so this is interesting because one of the things that I thought while I was watching this is how, like, I recognized Wicket, obviously, because Wicket is very easy to recognize. Like, I've got Wicket on my hat. If you're watching the video of this on Twitch or on YouTube later, you can see it on my hat. He's in the background as my background on here. But everyone else, like you see Wicket, he's almost as recognizable, I would argue, as Winnie the Pooh. But then, like, everyone else, I had no idea who was who. And they would call each other by name, but there would be, like, scenes where there'd be two other Ewoks, and one of them would be called, and then they both start talking, and I'm like, I have no clue. So if anyone who is watching this live on Twitch, if you're in the Discord, I did drop a little character chart that I found on StarWars.com of all of the different characters, as they're mentioned, if you want to look at those. So, anyways, so Ewoks debuted September 7th, 1985, and ran against Muppet Babies and the Smurfs, which is funny because my wife, Micaiah, watched this with me and said that it reminded her a lot of the Smurfs,
Yeah, I could see that.
which I had never seen.
It
I've never
reminded
seen
me
it.
a lot of, speaking of Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit original cartoon movie.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's
The Hobbit is way better though. So
true. That kind of makes me
Yeah.
want to go watch it. I don't know where you could find it, but I would watch
probably
that.
YouTube. And nowadays,
True.
yeah,
Have
Or
you ever
like
seen that, Jeremiah?
on some streaming service.
I remember watching that when I was a kid, but
Mhm.
the only thing I remember was when
Gollum?
he's in. No, when he sees the dragon and he sees the missing scale.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing I remember that. So when I watched the Hobbit movies, I was like, I remember that.
Oh. Yeah.
I remember that.
That's it.
All right. So it started on September 7th of 1985. It was renewed for a second season in late 1985. Ratings did not improve, however, and the series was canceled in 1986. Yep, that's about it. Now, they did a ton of merchandising for this. In 1984, Joe Johnson wrote and illustrated The Adventures of Tebow, a tale of magic and suspense, an Ewok storybook that introduced many of the elements that would later appear in the series. So this came out before the series. Also that year, Random House began publishing a series of children's books with the subtitle An Ewok Adventure, which were meant to tie into both the series and Caravan of Courage and Ewok Adventure.
So,
Yep.
sorry, was the cartoon released before the live action movies? Ewok movies?
So the cartoon was released in September of 1985. The movie was released in 1984. So the movie came first, which is why we get a character name in this episode specifically that we first heard in the movie. So in 1985, Kenner produced a toy line based on the series, including action figures, ship models, and other items. Also, that later that year, Star Comics, an imprint of Marvel Comics, published a bi-monthly Ewoks comic, which was based on the animated series. The comic ran for 2 years, ending with issue number 14, like this TV series. This was aimed towards a younger audience and was produced alongside the Droids comic, which is based on the series of the same name. The series received its first release in 1990 on video, VHS, and that's pretty much it. So
fun.
It's very similar to the Droids episode. You know, if I think we might have discussed a little bit more of the history in that, but it's the same thing. They were contemporaries of one another, produced by the same studio. The Ewoks show did last a little bit longer, which is interesting because neither one of these articles, this one or the one about droids, actually says why. Like, it's hinted at that production costs and ratings were a thing, but like looking back, I can't imagine the ratings for this being like that much better than droids that they wouldn't renew both, you know? I don't know. Who knows? No, someone knows. It's not me, but someone who has some sort of like insider knowledge into television history somewhere probably knows. And if you do, let us know.
I'm sure George Lucas knows. We could just text him.
Oh yeah, I'll
after
text
the show.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Next time me and Dave
have him send in a voicemail explaining. He has a minute to do it though.
George, please send in a voicemail. So yeah, one other really interesting fact that I'll state before we go, or I guess two, before we go further. The Ewoks in the series mostly speak Basic, mixed with the occasional words or phrases of Ewokese. Although this is a break from continuity, it is clearly for the convenience of an Earth-based audience.
So if you're from Mars, sorry guys,
sorry,
you have to read the subtitles.
It does not appear that the Ewok dialogue is translated from Ewokese for viewers, as the episode Battle for the Sun Star shows Ewoks communicating with Dr. Rhaegar and Imperial droids without a translator.
Spoiler
And
alert.
Spoilers.
it is stated that the writers had a full dictionary of Ewokese to reference.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
But they didn't translate it, so that's cool. Also, the novel "The Fate of the Jedi: Outcast," which is the same series of that I was mentioning Abeloth in, contains a reference to the show. Ben Skywalker takes a deep breath of Doran's helium-rich atmosphere and sings, his voice, quote, as high and ridiculous as that of an animated Ewok in a children's podcast, end quote. So, also, here's another small fact. The developers of Star Wars Galaxies watched the entirety of the Ewok series to prepare for creating Endor in the game.
Interesting.
All right, so Jeremiah, Andrew,
Yeah.
we've now come to the point where I
You said
once again asking.
Andrew, but it sounds like Andrew.
Yeah, that's the way those two words
Yep.
work. I'm once again asking for your thoughts on
All
this
right.
show.
So I
Jeremiah,
have a
go
two-part
first.
way to describe how I feel about this first episode. So my first half of idea is Ewoks pilot episode was 100 times better than Droids.
Oh my gosh, no!
But here's my second part. Better does not equate to good.
Oh, that's fair.
How? Okay, please explain that.
Because something can be better, but than something
Doesn't
else,
mean
but
it's
still not
good. Like, as in, you're saying it doesn't mean it's a good Star
that's-
Wars content, but it's better for you than Droids was.
Wait, what did you say?
That still doesn't help though.
Okay, so if you say you make, okay, what's your favorite? Okay, you were talking about like some donut shop with one of our Discord fans the other day. So there's like that donut shop that you just love the donuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's say you tried to make your favorite donut there. It would probably be terrible. And then someone else makes one that's better than yours, but it's still
Not as good as the
great
restaurant.
as the
Okay, so
donut shop.
that doesn't help.
So it's better, but it's not good.
It doesn't help Droid's chances at all with you.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, it even makes it worse. So it's like it's not good, and it's even a lower level of good for you than Droids is, or than Ewoks is.
Droids is way worse than.
Oh my gosh!
Andrew, I have to agree with Jeremiah.
No, come on!
I
This is. So,
actually enjoyed this a lot.
No.
And I watched 5 episodes today.
What?
At work.
What?
I
you serious?
enjoyed this, yeah.
Oh my!
Wow, see, here's the thing. So like, I didn't get a chance to watch it until this morning before work because I haven't gotten to it, and so like maybe like I was able to watch the whole episode without
Stopping.
But for Droids, like I just hate it so much. Like I had to like stop it every like 5 minutes to take a break. So, but either way, I still think Ewoks was better. It was easier to watch, and the story was more engaging.
Yeah.
Like,
I 100% agree. like I don't know, like it seemed
it's like the forest fire, like, and all that, and how the what are they called, wispies or whatever, were like setting fire to the thing because they were like being controlled by a magic spell, and they had to figure out how to stop them and stop the fire, and like it was just a fun episode. Like it was okay. Like it's not like Clone Wars or Rebels great, but
well,
it was
sure.
more tolerable than Droids.
Maybe it's because, like I said earlier, like it felt like The Hobbit. Like it felt different, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know why. Like maybe it is because it kind of felt like Smurfs a little bit. Like it reminded me personally as something I would have watched when I was a child more than Droids, and the art style for me was so much better. I don't know why. Like
Now, Drew, let me ask you this: do you like the original Grinch cartoon?
Yeah, of course.
Because there's those monster creatures that
Yeah.
look exactly like the Grinch.
Yeah, they
I
kind of
was
look
like,
like
this is
the
cool.
Grinch.
He's like a Grinch guy. Like this is
They,
like if
they
you got-
also kind of look like what's it called too? Like bigger versions of the monkey lizard.
Quaky monkey lizard.
Yeah, like they kind of look like a little bit
a,
bigger of
a
it.
distant cousin.
Sorry, Andrew. I thought you would have liked it. Like I don't know. Like I
Dude,
started watching. I'm
I-
like, oh, this is fun. Like
If-
it's a
if
cool
you
show, and I
guys-
couldn't stop.
If you guys are wondering why I've been silent this whole time, it's because my jaw's been open. I never in 1,000 years could have expected this outcome to play out the way that it did.
Really?
Why?
Because like,
But you knew that we didn't like last week's episode of
and
the
I
droids.
thought you weren't going to like this one. I thought we were going to be like, oh yeah, finally all three of us come together and we're like, yeah, we actually didn't prefer this. But lo and behold, it just did a freaking 180-degree flip on me, and now I'm the one that doesn't like it, and you two are the ones that what the heck?
Andrew, how does it feel to be Jeremiah?
Yeah, how did it feel to be me?
I didn't hate this. Don't get me wrong. Like I didn't hate it, but like there was something. I don't know if it's the voices. I don't know if it's the music. I don't know if it's just like the way it's animated. I cringed. the whole
Remember
time.
I said better, not good. So
That
like,
doesn't
I
help.
get it.
That
The
still doesn't help.
voices suck. Like I hate those super high pitched voice. Like
Yeah, but to me,
I
Droids is
loved
better.
this. I loved everything. Like the intro song, I thought it was so cheesy but hilarious. I
Bro,
thought it was
don't.
good.
Stop.
I loved it. I don't-
Drew.
they both
Drew,
had a cheesy
stop.
intro song.
Exactly.
Drew. But no. Dude, hold on. No. I wasn't gonna jump into this right away. I have a clip. I was gonna play you some of the theme songs so everybody can listen to it.
Play it.
But like this,
Hit it.
this is no. Hold on.
Go. I'm
No.
pumped for it. Let's
Oh,
go.
Yeah, Andrew's about to rage quit this podcast. It's gonna be back to just
You
Drew and I.
can't tell me that the theme song for Ewoks is better than the theme song for Droids. Don't
okay,
hit me.
I'd have to listen to them
I
both
was gonna
side by
say,
side again.
yeah.
but
And honestly, I don't really remember the Droids one. So if you want to find a
Dude,
sound
the
clip
Ewoks
of that,
one is arguably top for me personally, top 20 worst songs I've ever heard.
wow, that's
It doesn't
aggressive.
break the top 10, but
Yeah.
it does break the top 20 for me.
is your number
What's your
one?
number one?
I'd have to think about it.
Friday.
That's in the top 10.
It's Friday.
that's a
For
banger,
sure.
dude.
That's not a,
Okay.
Hey, that came out when I was in, I think, a senior in
So, wait a
college or
second,
sometime
wait a
in college.
Wait a second. So, Drew, you mean to tell me you enjoyed the Ewoks theme?
I thought it was so cheesy but enjoyable, and then like seeing the Ewoks, it was really cool. I don't know. Andrew, I'm not pulling your leg. Like I seriously don't understand.
All right.
But
Well, you know what?
really enjoyed it, and I watched 5 episodes of the Ewoks today at work.
Okay.
Like
Well, you know what?
I
This
enjoyed
is a good
everything.
time. This is a
about
good
it,
time.
but-
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the first few seconds of this theme song for everyone to listen to. So if you haven't, I'm only gonna play a few seconds.
Copyright. We're gonna get shut down so quick,
But
dude.
if you haven't
Yeah, this might not go on YouTube.
if you haven't heard it, here is your chance to hear it right now.
It's so catchy, dude. Okay, cut it before we get pulled from YouTube.
Yeah,
Okay, that is. I
thought it was catchy. It's
No,
like
no, no. As a musician, like
Sure.
I am not. Listen, I'm not claiming to have great musical taste. Like it's completely subjective. I understand that, but based on what I know about music theory and musical composition, I can't listen to that and write it off as anything that should be on television. It's annoying and it.
Okay, that's fine. Like I'm not
I
saying I
did-
disagree with you. I'm just saying the show is better than Droids. I don't care about the intro music. Like
I'm looking down at the chat and I see Riley. Well, first of all, Tanner says that was awful. Thank you. Also, Riley says, I want to eat some Tide Pods after that intro.
Maybe Andrew, you need to take the song and
Make it better.
do a
No.
cover of it,
No,
but like
I'm not covering
amp
the
it up,
Ewok.
make it better.
No, I'm
Your
not
love
covering
for
the
Star
Ewoks.
Wars.
Drew could be on drums. We could get Tanner. He could be on bass.
We're not covering that song. It's that
What,
song
what if
reminds
what if
me.
I sing?
Oh,
that song reminds
wait,
me.
hold up. Andrew, we might have something.
No,
If-
I'm not covering the song. That song reminds me too much of the reason why I hate the song "Sweet Caroline." And
people are like intro to the next podcast episode.
No, I hated playing that song for cover band, and it gives me the same vibes as this, and it's not a good experience for me. And I can't tell you why, but it's to me it's all garbage.
I really enjoyed it. As soon as they were playing, I'm like, this is so stupid, but so enjoyable. Like, kids would love this.
But that's the
'cause
thing.
It makes sense for the show. It's
Yeah.
not aimed
It's
for
so funny
you.
because for me watching Droids, I thought to myself, you know what? I could watch more of this as an adult. I'm watching this. I'm like, no, it's not happening. This is a kid show. I'd have to revert back to the maturity of my like 5-year-old
Wow,
self
so
to watch
Andrew's
this.
calling me immature right now.
No, I would say I would have to.
Oh, okay.
There's a difference. Like
you
I
had to
said,
sink
all
down
of this is
to your
subjective.
level.
Look, all of this.
Come over here to my level.
All of this is subjective.
That's fair. I don't know.
You know?
Like, I think I should maybe try to watch more Droids, but honestly, like I
Dude,
thought this was
Watch
really
the episode with the prince in it.
Okay, Andrew, let me ask you this: can you at least agree that the animation in Ewoks is better animation than Droids?
Come on.
No.
Oh.
Better environments, more detail in the characters.
Yes.
Like,
I mean, sure, but
they
like,
got-
there were definitely times, like for example, there were times that I feel like they added too many frames
I
to
don't
a
know.
certain action. So, like for example, when Aunt Bozzy kisses Wicked at the very end,
Mm-hmm.
like he stalls and freezes in place for like a few frames too long, in my opinion. Like there were a few times where they were doing stuff and it just felt a little too drawn out. Like I get the point, like you're going for comedic effect, but like I don't know. I mean, I think as far as the art style, it's a great looking show. I'll 100% admit that. Like it's a very well made show, but for me the animation, I didn't like the animation as much as Droids.
I thought I really enjoyed, when the fire was happening and like they showed the Ewoks and it was like flashing different colors. I thought that was a really creative way to show like that it was really bright out and it was supposed to be dark. So like it showed darkness and then red and then yellow. Like I thought it was really creative art style. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool.
I guess for me, the whole thing just felt really dated in a way that Droids didn't for whatever reason.
Maybe that's because you watched Droids as a kid. So for you, the nostalgia.
I would still rather come back to Droids
Well,
on the soul level of like content and story. Like I
Well,
don't know. I'd rather watch.
I don't know,
something
dude.
about a robot
Episode
than a
5
small
was
bear.
really sick. You should go watch episode 5.
But I mean, since Drew has watched 5 episodes, is each episode a new story, or
Yeah.
is there like any like arcs that like continue?
No,
on?
it's not like an arc style. It's more like
No.
a kid's show. Like, you can jump in at any episode and just take it off and go with it. I don't know. I just thought it was really fun. Like, it was a fun show. And I'm like, I'm not mad at this. Like, not to say that I loved.
I'm not mad at this.
I'm not mad at
There
it.
is.
I don't
There
know.
it
Like,
is.
not to say that it's amazing, like Jeremiah said. Like, I would pick anything that Dave Filoni has done over all this, right? But it is very entertaining, and like I'm definitely gonna show my son this show. Like we're gonna watch this as he's a little toddler, and we're gonna watch this show a lot.
All right.
And not to say that I won't do that with Droids, but this one for sure we're gonna have it on the background. It's so innocent, it's this fun little, and I feel like I would not get bored of it as much as like some of the other things kids watch these days, like Paw Patrol. Ugh.
All right. Well, how the turntables, I guess.
How the turntable.
I was not expecting this.
Now that's a good
and
show.
Yeah. I mean, I 100% respect your guys' opinions. Like, I'm actually glad that you enjoyed it.
I mean, before we recording, Jeremiah was saying we should watch like one of these every.
No, oh,
And
We're gonna have to. I feel like we need to put it to a vote for our Discord people.
Correct.
Do we want to do once a month, the first
another
episode of the
no,
month?
because they're gonna vote in favor of Ewoks because it makes me uncomfortable.
I disagree.
Like,
I think
that's the
no,
Drew.
no,
Drew,
because they're gonna do that
Drew.
because it'll make Jeremiah uncomfortable to watch droids. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't want to watch droids.
Yeah,
that's
I
true.
feel like it's the same. And I'm more the neutral. I will watch either.
He's like the Bendu. He's the one in the middle.
Yes.
Alright.
I would lean more towards Ewoks, but if you guys want to watch droids, I will watch droids. Because I
Alright.
probably will
And
finish
also just-
Ewok before we even download.
And the polls aren't law anyway. So even if they vote one way or the other, we don't.
You were about to say the polls aren't canon.
Yeah, he was. He was gonna say
That's
that.
Jeremiah's. Do you have that ready? Do you have that ready to pull out like a quick draw in a Western movie? It's not canon.
Something like that.
Anyways,
I'm like
All
Cad
right.
Bane.
too soon.
Everyone,
My heart.
I
my
No
want
heart
one
is-
died.
my heart is still breaking from the fact that Omega.
dude, I watched that episode again.
Spoilers.
Oh my lord! Yeah, spoilers. That's a different episode.
Anyways,
But
bro, it's the Tuesday after the Friday. If you haven't seen that episode by now, I am sorry that I just spoiled something for you. But
EU
it's
polls
fair
with
game.
Drew. We talk about Ewoks a lot.
All right.
What-
well,
what if we
Sorry,
did it-
Did you have an itinerary? Did you want to?
Are we gonna break
Yeah.
down this episode?
Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, yeah, to a certain extent. Anyways, why don't we take a quick refreshing break to cleanse the palates and just kind of create a little bit of a break before we jump into a scene by scene, because I just finished my Wesley Andrews Snapshot coffee.
Do you have the can?
I do.
Can I see it? Well, no, I can't. There it is. Look at that
Very,
orange.
very minimalist. Look
I'm
to
glad
it.
it didn't blow up on the
Yeah.
shipping to your
Yeah,
house.
because it was hot. The day that it arrived, it was
Really?
really, really hot. But no, I really like the design. Speaking of that, Jeremiah. But yeah, let's just take a quick break, listen to a message from Wesley Andrews, and then we'll dive back into the Ewoks content.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor for today's episode is Wesley
Andrew, I love
Andrews
you.
Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything
love you
about
too.
Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're
I'm
an
sad.
award-winning coffee roaster.
I
based
did
out of
try to
Minneapolis,
make you
Minnesota,
sad.
It's fine.
and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that they have a subscription service that gets those amazing coffee.
Did you
beans
watch it with
delivered to your
Micaiah?
door on an
Yeah.
either
I wanna know what
weekly,
she thinks.
bi-weekly,
Yeah.
or monthly basis.
What'd she say?
Unfortunately,
Actually
we're
don't
all being
remember.
negatively affected.
I
by
want to
this
know her
situation
opinion
right now.
between droids and
That being
Ewoks.
said, what a better time to try some new coffee and support a local business. I know they'll greatly appreciate
get her
it.
in here.
We will too.
Get her
After
in
all,
here.
use the code Empire Radio with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout. When you start a new subscription at wesleyandrews.cc,
She liked
you'll
droids
get
better.
She loves you
50%
so
off
much.
Is she watching?
You can't think of a better deal.
No,
Get
I don't think
50%
so.
off. Support a
She
world
loves you
I was
so
like,
much.
I should text her and be like,
favorite
hey,
Star Wars podcast.
get in the chat and
In the
say
words
that
of
you
Emperor
like
Palpatine.
Ewoks better.
Do it.
I
Do
love
it.
how I look down and I see Riley say, "Finally, the Wesley Andrews part of the Wesley Andrews podcast." Also, David, the new sound was the Ewoks music. Sorry for the letdown. Yeah,
All right.
do it.
Do
You know
it.
what to
Do
do.
it.
You know what to do. Get a subscription, or if you can't get a subscription and you have to buy something from Wesley Andrews, the Snap Chilled coffee is good. Definitely the most unique coffee experience I've had in a long time, for sure.
In a good way?
Yeah, yeah,
I was
It-
watching your
it's-
guys' conversation in Discord about it.
yeah. It's really good. It's really hard to explain, and I could go off on a tangent right now, so I'm not. But I will say that the orange zest tasting notes, like I get the citrus side of that really strongly when I taste it. So it's pretty good. Yeah. I like it better than just like normal cold brew for sure.
Well, because it's snap chilled, so it's like hot coffee that
Yeah.
they chill instantly. So that's why it doesn't have that cold brew like body, you know.
Yeah.
So
Is it like the Japanese
no, it's not like a ice pour
flash
over
chill?
or it's kind of like flash chilled, I guess. Yeah. But it's not like a pour over. It's like they brew it in like batches of, because we like commission it, so a company does it for us. But
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think they do it like they shock it like right away, like they chill it like instantly, and it causes it to like taste like cold brew. But it's like it doesn't have like that shakiness that cold brew gives you, or like that giant thick mouthfeel of like a toddy system of a cold brew. It has more
Yeah.
of like a clean body, like you're just drinking a cup of coffee, and it's really smooth and it's not hard to finish. I feel like
Yeah.
some
No,
cold
no,
brew
I get
cans
that.
are really hard to finish.
Yeah. Yeah. I get you. That makes sense.
Right, Jeremiah?
Yeah.
I just drink water.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, there's your Wesley Andrews coffee tangent. So if you're interested in anything that we just talked about, you can actually buy the Snapshow coffee at wesleyandrews.cc and get a subscription while you're there.
Do it.
Why not?
Tell
You
them
got money to blow
Empire
on
Radio
coffee.
sent you.
Yeah.
Put it in the email, and I'll read it and say, "That was Tanner. Nice job."
I love how anticlimactic was. I'll read it and I'll say, "Nice job." It's just Drew sitting there roasting the beans, saying, "Nice job" to himself.
I am not about to move my mic. Chat, stop saying I'm about to move my mic. I'm not moving my mic.
All right. Yeah. Let's go into scene by scene. I don't know how long this is gonna take, but
You can go as fast or as slow as you want.
Well, if you liked it, I feel like we'd go slow. So try
Okay,
not to put a
so-
bias.
So, okay. So, fun fact: this episode, just gonna circle back to this really quickly. It's called "The Cries of the Trees," which makes a lot of sense once you know the plot. So, it was set in 3 ABY, and follows Wicket and Nisa as they defend the soul trees from the evil Tolga witch Morag, which is funny because Nisa didn't play a huge part in this, I feel like, until the very end. But whatever. So, fire danger. It is a time of drought on the forest moon of Endor. Wicket and his friends are out, and they are searching for aura blossoms. I wrote that down. It's a flower. I guess a bioluminescent flower. And they meet Queen Isrena of the Wisties.
No,
Uh,
is she the same one that they
Yes.
named in the?
Yep. And
This is supposed to be after that, right?
correct.
Perfect.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So the cartoon chronologically is after
Yes.
the live action movie,
Which is
but
why
was
Wicked.
made before.
No. The movie was made
But-
before the cartoon, which
Yeah.
is why they
But
got
the
name.
cartoon takes
is
place
before Endor, the
before
Battle of
the-
Endor.
No. The movie takes place before the cartoon in both instances.
Oh,
No,
okay.
In
but
its release,
all
and
that
its
is
canon.
before the Battle of Endor.
Correct.
So in some at one point they all forget English. But the reason
That was-
why
that
they
was what
all speak
Andrew got mad
English,
about the most after the second movie.
Yeah.
I mean, like the fact that Wicket, just the whole time he was with Princess Leia, was like, nah,
I don't know how to
no
do it.
basic here.
Well, the thing is, he taught his whole village how to speak English. That's what I'm going with. That's my
Yeah.
version.
That little punk. Anyways, so while they meet Isrena, who is the same Isrena from the Ewoks movie, and they are suddenly attacked by a band of Yuzums.
Yuzum.
Yuzums.
Were those the
Who's-
spider guys?
Yeah, so they weren't spiders,
They like rolled
like
on
fuzz-
spiders.
bro. Yeah, okay. It wasn't even like a spider. It was like the like a skeletal structure of a spider with super long, spindly legs, and it takes them places.
It's
and
like
then
their vehicle.
Yeah, and then the Yuzums were essentially like hairballs with mean faces and legs and arms.
They're cranky.
So, very cranky.
Did that creep you out when you saw them coming? on spiders, Andrew?
No.
I instantly saw them.
was-
I was like, "Oh, Andrew's not gonna like this."
I was actually kind of hoping for maybe some like interplay with the villains from the second Ewoks movie.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Maybe we will.
Maybe we'll. We haven't
Later
since
episodes.
episode 5, but I'll let you guys know when I finish it.
Okay.
I'm gonna binge it tomorrow.
I might.
It's so funny that you say that, because like I was McKay and I were sitting down to watch this episode. I was getting water, and as I was doing that, I was like, you know what? I would actually like to go back, whether you watch it with me or not. Like at some point, I'm gonna go back and watch the rest of Droids.
Yeah.
It's just the 180
It's
degree
like completely
flip.
different.
Yeah. Anyways, so they get attacked by the Yisms, who serve Morag, the Tolga witch. The Ewoks escape, but Isrina is captured and brought to Morag. She's captured by Morag. So, the witch. Back in Bright Tree Village, the young Ewoks do their chores. And they do their chores because they got put on cleaning duty or work duty because they were out playing with the Wisties, and they got caught by Aunt Bozzy.
Dubazi, man.
Let me tell you something about Bozzy. So, Bozzy reminds me of Umbridge from Harry Potter.
I can see that.
And it immediately made me hate her because of how much I dislike Umbridge
That's fair.
in Harry Potter. She reminded me a little bit of that because like she was just mean and angry for no reason. Like she's too hard on
Well,
Wicket.
maybe it's because
She's an aunt.
yeah, she's
She
an
was like the mean
aunt.
aunt.
But
Well,
then
I never
also
had a
her
mean
kid
aunt,
was not the
so-
greatest influence on Wicked either.
Who is?
Wicked's cousin who made them do the game. That's the aunt's
Oh, you're
son.
talking about Poplo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Poplo-
I mean,
Poplo.
you'd be cranky too if your son was kind of a brat and cause trouble
I
within
guess.
the group. And she might be single, so you know, she might have had a hard life.
Gosh.
Oh.
Just
okay.
saying.
All right. So, anyways, back in Bright Tree Village, the young Ewoks who got caught playing with the Wisties, they're doing their chores. Poplu approaches them and suggests that they play Drop the Sack instead.
Drop the sack.
Drop the sack. And it's mud. If you're wondering what was in the sacks, it's mud. Dropping stacks of mud. Anyways, meanwhile, in Morag's lair, the witch casts a spell on Isrina, turning the queen into an evil flaming creature. Morag releases Isrina to infect the other Wisties and burn down the Ewok soul trees, which sounds like a funk band from the 70s.
Soul trees.
It
Soul
reminds me
trees.
of Lord of the Rings, though. That part, the soul tree part, because like in Lord of the Rings, like the trees are
You're talking
like
about the Ents?
not the Ents, just the trees in general. You know how the Ents got mad because all their tree friends like died or they were cut down,
Yeah.
and like in that one forest they're like making noise, and they're like, "What is that noise?" Oh, that's the trees crying out. It kind of reminded me of that because it's
I
like
can see that.
the trees had feelings, and it's yeah, I don't know. They're magical trees. Jeremiah, stop laughing.
No, I thought it was something that is completely different. I don't know if it's appropriate to put out.
Okay, then don't.
It's not like that, but I don't know. Whatever. Anyway.
All right. Well, I just looked down at the chat, and Tanner says, demonstrate the sound of a sack of mud being dropped on the ground. If you want that sound, go watch episode 1 of the Ewok show, because it happens a few times, actually.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
and
actually, like, that sound specifically in this show.
and it's a building to other things later on in the episode. The dropping the sack has a good transition throughout the show.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Also,
All right.
also speaking of sounds, Andrew, you kind of old people some sounds, but we'll get that into the later half of the episode.
Huh?
You old people, other sounds.
Drew, did you not see the entire conversation we had in the Discord about this
No,
earlier?
of course not.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Okay.
I have
so
no idea what's going on.
it's fine. So while the Morag is casting this spell, the Dolok shaman shows up, the little quaking monkey lizard looking dude. And he's just basically kind of a buffoon the whole time.
I didn't know he was a shaman.
Yeah, she said he's a shaman the whole, like
He is
3 or
not
4
the
times.
smartest.
Nope.
He kind of
That's
reminded
why
me of the hyenas in like the first narration of Lion King.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Actually, that's a good comparison. So yeah, anyways, Isrina gets turned evil and they go to burn down the soul trees. Poplu, Wicket, and Tebow play the forbidden game of drop the sack in the Happy Grove.
Was it T-Boo or T-Bow?
Tebow.
Like the football player?
Yep.
So he's throwing stuff, both throwing things. I'm just saying.
I think Tebow was the one with the target on his back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so but because it doesn't go into this in the article that I'm reading for the summary, but one thing that I need to explain to everyone. So drop the sack. This game is played with 2 teams, right? You got one team, which, as far as we know, is a singular person who has a wooden like circular target on their back, and they run around in the forest on the forest floor. And the other team of the Ewoks sits on the branches, and they do their best while being stationary on a single branch to drop a sack of mud and hit the target on the other Ewok's back. That's drop the sack.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's also, I agree with the elders of the village. It's also kind of dangerous. I'm not going to lie, because the sacks that they were using, they looked like burlap. So it's like a burlap sack full of mud that accidentally hits you on the head.
As long as
That's
there's
why
no
you have the
stones in
target
it.
to take the hit.
All right. So anyways, they play the drop the sack, and they accidentally drop a sack of mud on Bozzy,
The aunt.
the aunt from earlier.
And Andrew's like, she had it coming, so it's fine.
No, I didn't say, dude, I didn't.
She said you
I'm not
didn't like
evil.
her.
I didn't like her, but like I was like, she doesn't deserve this. Anyways, so they lie. They lie about it, and they're like, yeah, it was like a mudslinging something bat or something, whatever.
Yeah.
So they the elders see through Poplo's hasty lie to protect himself and his friends. As such, the young Ewoks are assigned cleaning duty on the forest floor. As they work, Isrina flies by and sets the area ablaze. So she flies through Wicket's broom. It catches the broom tip on fire. He then tries to hit the broom against the ground, which in turn sets the forest on fire. So it's just this whole thing. So she flies by, sets the area ablaze. Chief Chirpa and some other elders arrive and put out the fire by they have these staffs, and they're just digging in the dirt, and I guess they just used the dirt to disrupt the flames. So they put the forest fire out. The young Ewoks are held responsible, disbelieving their claim that the fire seemed to begin on its own, since the young ones had lied before, and are sentenced to a 3-day detention in a remote area under the guardianship of Wicket's older brothers. So because they lied the first time and dropped the sack, the elders did not believe them when something actually happened, which is why we don't lie.
Correct.
Because you don't want to be stuck in a 3-day detention with Wicket's brothers.
Well, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to hang out with some Ewoks. I don't know.
I don't know.
Sounds a little hairy.
Get out. Get out. Okay, so they're in their 3-day detention, and they go to sleep. And that night, the 3 young Ewoks share the same dream. The soul trees are burning and crying out to them for help. The Ewoks rush outside to discover that the forest is ablaze. When they alert their warders, the cursed Isrina attacks. Wicket douses the Wisty in water, removing the curse. Isrina tells them about Morag's scheme, and all the Ewoks hurry to warn Chirpa. It's kind of crazy because, like, Wicket just dousing her in water, like, did that run the risk of killing her?
No.
Because they're like the Ewoks call them like what, fire people or something, the fire folk or something.
Fire fairies, right?
Fairies, yeah, like fire is
Or
in their
something
nature.
fairy,
So
yeah.
like, I wonder if if there was like a split-second decision of like, I wonder if this is gonna kill her or not. This is a kids' cartoon, so I would
Definitely
be
not.
overthinking things. Yeah. Okay.
But I think it is cool that the trees spoke through a dream, like it was like the forest or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you grew up with trees long enough,
You get well. I mean, they say that though. Remember, because the
we're
young
not there
Ewok.
yet.
Okay.
Come on,
Okay, I didn't.
no spoilers, Drew.
Sorry.
No, I'm joking. No, you are right though, because the only reason I'm stopping you is because like that's literally the next part that we're going to talk about.
Okay, go ahead.
So the Ewoks interrupt the Festival of Hoods.
Which I
no
thought
one
was
believes
really
it.
cool.
So the Festival of Hoods is when super young Ewoks who do not have the hoods that all Ewoks wear, to varying designs, the young Ewoks get their hoods, and it's like the christening or like the
Their
inauguration.
trial, like,
Yeah,
I thought it was really
it's like-
cool.
it's like that scene in the original Clone Wars where Anakin gets his braid cut off by Yoda, except there's no lightsabers, and it's hoods.
Yeah.
Also, no
Okay.
braids.
I don't know. I thought
Also,
it.
not the Jedi Council,
Yeah. Well. Okay.
but it's kind of the same feeling. It is dark. There's some fires. You know, the ambience is kind of the
You're-
same.
By using that comparison, you're making the show a lot
He's
cooler
try-
sounding. So like,
That's fine.
I think you're starting to like the Ewoks more than droids. I don't know.
That
You're starting to
is-
compare. You love the OG Clone Wars, and now you're comparing it to OG Clone Wars.
That is
so
one of the
starting to
most
come around.
outlandish stretches I've ever heard come out of their mouth. So anyways, so that's the Festival of the Hoods, or the Festival of Hoods. So they come up and no one believes them because they've lied too many times. It's the boy who cried wolf. However, while Wicket's brothers and Isrina explain the situation to Shaman Logray, which, by the way, Shaman Logray is the same Ewok like village leader shaman from Return of the Jedi. He's in Return of the Jedi, the older looking like gray one.
Fun.
The youngest, while they were talking, telling the situation to Logray, the youngest Ewoks, including Milani, sense the distress of the trees, which is what Drew was saying. Chirpa is convinced and mobilizes the community to fight the fire, but Morag interferes by damming the river to cut off their water supply.
Also,
I just-
before you keep going, I think it was cool how the young Ewoks
Mhm.
can hear the trees better than the adults. I thought that was cool.
Well, it's interesting because that has some similarities to Third Sight,
Yeah. It was interesting.
which I'm
yeah.
realizing Jeremiah doesn't. Dang it.
Is that an EU thing?
No, it's a canon Thrawn novel thing, but
Mhm.
I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't read the Thrawn books yet. So, anyways, there's a parallel. There's kind of a loose parallel there that I thought was interesting. But
I thought it was really cool because one, like, I love the hood ceremony. I thought it was like, I'm not even being like, I'm not trying to make this cooler than it actually is. I seriously thought that the hood ceremony was interesting because we've never really got how they got their hoods or why they all have hoods. And so to see that it's actually part of like their tradition, and to see like it has something to do with like once you're like old enough or you gone through some sort of like trial or something, you get your hoods, and it's really cool and it's a big deal for their culture. I'm making this sound way more intense than a cartoon, but I thought it was cool. And then also like that whole thing about how like even the shaman was saying like the young ones are closer to the trees, or like they can hear the trees better than we can, and that's why they listened. It was really. I thought it was a really cool scene. I'm not even
Yeah.
trying to.
I mean, I would say of all of this episode, that was probably my favorite part. So I get dude, I get what you're saying. Like I said, it may not be my thing, but it doesn't mean it can't be your thing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so because the water supply is cut off, Logray and Wicket retrieve magic foam, which proves to be useful against the blaze and the cursed Wisties. However, Morag interferes again and damages the catapults necessary to launch the bags against the fire.
I was like, how did they get that catapult like in position so quickly?
They always have one, you know.
They always have one. Yeah, there's like a catapult every 100 feet, just in case.
There's probably logs hanging from the trees that we didn't see.
Yeah, you never know when an ATST is gonna need smashing.
That is true.
Yeah. So yeah, the foam reminded me of like, I don't know, stuff that they would fight forest fires with in real life, or
Yeah.
I don't know, like a fire extinguisher or something. Kind of a similar vibe.
Maybe they need to start inventing these foam bombs, like real forest fire fighting. 'Cause it looks simple enough, right?
Yeah.
It reminds me.
Yeah, it's that easy, Jeremiah.
Yeah. It reminds me of that. This is kind of weird, but it reminded me of the episode of Big Bang Theory when Sheldon pranked. I forget who he pranked, but he like set a bunch of foam in the guy's office, and then it all dropped on him. I don't know.
I don't remember that episode.
Really?
I've never seen that episode, so
It's a good one.
Big Bang Theory is a good show.
It is good.
yeah, it is.
Finale was a tearjerker.
It was. But this is an Ewok episode, so we'll talk about Big Bang Theory.
All
When we
right.
start our Big Bang Theory podcast, we'll let you know.
Yep.
All right.
Patreon. Anyways.
All right. Yeah. So the catapult's broken. Wicket has an idea, and they're like, "Wicket, this idea is just crazy. You're not going to be able to do it." But he does it, and guided by the Wisties, Wicket and Nisa fly hang gliders above the trees to airdrop more bags of foam, saving the soul trees. Observing the young one's bravery and ingenuity in this crisis, Chirpa and Logray decide that they were too hard on them. Although Bozzy needs to be convinced when Wicket observes her making a last stand against the fire protecting her soul tree, and he does a precise airdrop to save both. It begins to rain, and Bozzy reconciles with Wicket. So they are like, we've been too hard on the youngins. They do have some good ideas. And it just so happens that they're the ones that saved the entire forest. So, yeah. That's episode 1.
The banger.
The cries of the trees.
I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't, like I said, I didn't hate it.
I just feel like the song at the beginning just already
No.
just put a bad taste in your mouth.
It
And
did.
you just wanted to hate
Yeah.
the episode because
Dude, that
of the theme
song,
song.
that song, I don't know how that song doesn't put a bad taste in anyone's mouth.
Maybe if you play it one more time, you'll like
Nope,
it again.
not doing it. Not doing it.
I tried, chat. I tried.
It's so bad. Like I haven't had. This is not the show. I'm not talking about the show. This is just I'm singling out just the theme song. Okay, I just want to make that clear. This is completely separate from the show. What I'm about to say. I haven't heard anything that bad musically in years.
Oh god.
Like I had
Oh,
a
Lord.
visceral reaction to that song. I don't know what it was, but it was disgusting to me. So, anyways, that's the first episode. I will watch more if the fans want it. And who knows? I might just eat all my words and come back and say, you know what? I like it now at some point. Who knows?
I think you will. Episode 2 is. It's a good
It'll
one.
be funny if like we watched both shows to the end and like we're both like still like we reverse our positions. Like Drew and I like droids way better, and you like Ewoks way better.
That would actually be crazy. I wouldn't see that coming at all.
Yeah,
But,
me
yeah.
either. Well,
Do you guys have anything else you want to say about the first Ewoks episode?
no.
I thought the purple horse thing.
Oh
running
yeah,
around,
the
Oh,
donkey,
gosh.
the donkey.
he was pretty cool. I liked him.
Okay, so the Ewoks in their tree villages, stories above the ground, had a purple cow, essentially,
Donkey cow.
as a pet.
Cow, donkey, horse, cow.
Yeah. Above. Like, how do they even
Okay.
feed that thing? How do they get it down? How
They
do they
put,
get it
they
down?
wash
food
it.
in a bucket and they give him the food. Like,
I don't
that's how you
understand.
feed it.
They also gave it a bath. Also, when I first heard the donkey sound, I was like, okay, wait, hold up, you guys. They're going to have a donkey in here. It's going to piss me
Oh,
off.
Drew was about to be
because I was
triggered.
about to be triggered. When I heard the donkey noise, like the ee-haw, I was like, wait, hold up. They're going to lose me. And it was a mix between a donkey and a cow. And I was like, oh, no, it was fine. And it was all purple.
And it was blue.
Well, it was
blue?
It was like purple.
Purple.
thought it was
It-
purple.
it's in the blue family. Give me a break.
Sure. But
Anyways.
all I'm saying, they didn't lose me, but they were close. There was a moment where I was like, come on. But if they would have had that in the Ewok movies, I wouldn't have as many complaints. Because those real animals
So,
kind of
if
took me
they
out
had
of it.
if they had a normal animal in this, would you have hated it?
I would have hated it a lot. Maybe. It'd be cutting it pretty close. I literally thought when I heard that donkey noise, I was like, oh shoot, Andrew might have won this one. They might be liking the droids. And then I saw it, and I was like, wait, never mind. That's good.
This isn't me versus y'all. That's
Well,
not how I see it.
I don't see it that way, but like I literally was like,
It's just Jeremiah who does.
I don't see it though. Jeremiah does, but yeah.
All right. Well, anything else, boys?
No.
No.
Okay. Well, it's time. It's time to switch over to one of my favorite parts of Tuesday episodes, and that is voicemail time.
Ooh.
And we have 9 today.
Oh, so
we
close.
We were close.
So close.
We were close, but we did not reach our 12. So before I hit the sound and dive in, if any of you are wondering what we're talking about, the offer still is on the table. And we'll talk about how to leave voicemails later, if you're curious. But if we get 12 voicemails, it can't be 11. It has to be 12 or more. We will completely table whatever we're working on for a Tuesday and do an entire episode dedicated to voicemails.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, let's head on over to voicemail time. All right. So this one is has a spot near and dear to my heart because of the name of this person. And our first voicemail is from someone named Andrew.
Oh, what a solid name.
Yeah, right? It's a good name, right, Drew?
Okay,
It's okay.
Jeremiah.
You're outnumbered, Jeremiah. You have 2 Andrews here.
3 now. What we're about to hear.
That's true.
Okay.
That was your opportunity to go, I like those odds. And then pull out your
Yes.
blaster pistol.
I don't have a blaster pistol. I have
Well,
a pen I could like stab you with. But
What's your John Wick?
you can do a lot with the pen.
You
fun
do a
fact,
lot.
I've never seen a John Wick movie.
I knew that was
doesn't-
gonna come.
Honestly, that doesn't
That-
surprise me one bit.
But also, Jeremiah, if you watched them, you would like them. For
I'm
sure.
I would.
You should
yeah,
watch them.
they're really, really good movies.
They're
I actually
bangers.
learned this is a completely just the side note that I need to get out, and then we'll go into voicemails. I learned that those movies got their name because I don't know if it's true or not, but it's really funny. Keanu Reeves kept forgetting the name in like pre-production for the very first movie, and he would tell people he was in a movie called John Wick, and the directors took it and ran with it.
Interesting. So what's
So
it
what was
going to
the
be
original
called?
name?
I don't know, and apparently Keanu Reeves doesn't either.
It's probably like John Smith, some like generic name.
I don't know.
Or it's like Wick. It's just the last name.
It was,
Just big.
it was originally an Ewoks, and it was about Wicket, and
Oh.
Oh,
he just didn't. He was on with Andrew, and he just didn't like it, and they changed the whole movie just for him.
all right.
Power to the Andrews.
Power to the Andrew. Okay. Let's listen to our first voicemail from the other Andrew, the third Andrew.
Andrew the Third.
Here we go.
Come on down.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. Now I don't have a really good ad about coffee like Andrew does for Wesley Andrews, but I do have a couple questions for you. I'm from Montana, so I want to say hey from
Ooh.
Montana. You have a
What
fan
up?
here.
Hey,
But my
Montana.
questions are, number one, can I be an official Andrew of the podcast since I share the name with two of you guys? And number two, if you could pick one Jedi to survive Order 66, which one would it be, and how big of an impact or role would you have them playing moving on after Order 66 was initiated? I love the podcast. You guys do great work. I look forward to hearing more of it. See ya.
Thank you, other Andrew.
Well, I
For
mean,
your
we don't have an
kindness.
Andy, so if Andrew, if you
no
want to
one
claim
wants
Andy, if you want to claim Andy,
Keep in mind, my brother goes by Andy.
Yeah,
just
but
so you
he
know,
didn't
before you
call
say
in.
anything.
He didn't
Here's
call
the thing,
in.
Andrew. Andrew, this is really weird because I'm saying I don't ever say my own name. If you,
I
you
do
can't be an
every week.
official-
But go
Huh?
on. I said I say my own name
Hey
every
guys,
single
Andrew
week.
here. You say it every week.
I don't actually.
It was a joke. We know you don't say it. Never mind.
I say it
Come
every week.
on.
I say Andrew every week
For what?
when I say your name.
That's true. Actually, good job. All right,
Anyway,
so
what was the questions again?
Andrew, you can be an honorary Andrew of the podcast, an official
is-
honorary Andrew.
But we're gonna have to call you Andy.
But you're gonna have to join the Discord too to get more, likelihood.
you
to be
will need to
official.
join the Discord at some point, which we'll talk
Yeah.
about how to do that. The other question was, if you could pick a Jedi to survive Order 66, who would it be, and what impact would they have on the galaxy? That's a really good question.
That is a really good
I-
question.
I would go with Kit Fisto.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say Kitster. I was like, Jeremiah, what are you doing? What is happening right now? Okay, so Kit Fisto.
I think
Tell me more.
he's one of my favorite side Jedi, whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
middle of the road Jedi. Like he's not one of the top Yoda, Obi-Wan, like those top tier guys. But I thought he was really cool in the Clone Wars, and in season 1 of Clone Wars when he fought Dooku by himself, or not Dooku, Grievous. I thought it was super cool, and I just he's a cool guy. Then when he's if the underwater arc on Mon Calamar
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it's called,
Mon Cala.
Mon Cala, I thought he was cool in that arc too. So I like him.
Well, and
I just
he did
wish he
something
was-
similar too in the other Clone Wars, the original Clone Wars show too.
He was. Oh yeah, that was my favorite part of the whole
Yeah.
OG Clone Wars. Just too bad he died in 3 seconds. He's again. He was okay. Of the 3 that died, he lasted the longest. So at least
True.
that was over those other.
What was the other? What's the guy with the long hair? What was his name?
The long hair.
That died in that same scene. He died right away.
The
Oh, I
two
don't
that died
remember.
right away. Yeah.
I know who you're
I-
talking about, but
I
don't
had
remember
I
his
had
name.
that figure as a kid.
That's why they died right away, because they were so forgettable.
Oof. Shots fired.
But so these have
Anyway.
to be Jedi's that died because of Order 66.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's basically 10,000 to choose from.
True.
So who do you go with, guys?
Oh, Agent Kolar. Drew. Thanks, Simon.
Nice job. Go Andrew. I'm still thinking.
I would pick either Quinlan Voss or Mace Windu.
But he didn't die for Order 66.
Yeah.
That's
Mace
why
Windu?
I was gonna
You-
pick Mace,
that was
but
before
that was before
Order
Order
66.
66.
Yeah, but it counts. It
Wait,
was in
the-
dude, Order
Kit
66
Fisto
literally got
didn't
called
die.
5
wait,
minutes
hold
later.
up. Quit. He didn't die for Order 66 either.
I know, but
Quit
I would
Fisto.
have.
I'm saying.
Wait, what?
Oh shoot, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
Jeremiah's
even
saying-
earlier.
It still all happened within like 10 minutes.
Then I'll go with Kiadi Mundi.
Ah,
That's my
okay,
I was actually
so-
thinking Kiari Mundi.
or Ayla Sakura.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay, so we have to pick someone who was killed by Order 66.
Yes, because I
Like,
was gonna pick.
directly as a result.
Oh
Okay.
no, I changed mine. I want what's his name?
I was gonna pick the Dex
Uh,
guy that Jeremiah
no,
loves.
The guy that found Ahsoka.
Plo Koon.
Plo Koon.
I was
We're
gonna
going-
pick Plo
Plo
Koon
Plo
as
Koon.
well.
Him.
Yeah, I would. I like
think
that
if Plo
too.
Koon-
Actually,
I think if Plo Koon had lived, he would have been a serious threat to the Empire. I think he could have taken down Darth Vader. If Plo Koon had lived, and he had gotten to Vader right after he got into his suit, I think he could have taken him.
Cool.
I think he could have, and that would have been the impact I want to have. Because like, what would happen?
Well, he would have used
Palpatine.
his Jedi lightning.
Heck yeah,
Yeah.
short out his, systems and stuff. Yeah.
I'll pick him too. I like that. That's a good one.
All right. Sweet.
Plo-
Well,
Plo
Andrew,
Koon
thank you so
it
much.
is.
So the next two are interesting because the first is from an Imperial captain, and the second is from Boss Nass.
Oh.
So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. Let's hear from the Empire.
This is Captain Rashmir of the Imperial Star Destroyer, the Decider. It has been brought to our attention that you have been receiving illegal communications from the outlaw Dengar. These communications must desist immediately. However, in light of your excellent work on the Empire Radio podcast, we are prepared to offer you positions within the Imperial Officers Training Academy. All you have to do now, gentlemen, is choose the officer with whom you will receive your training from. The list is as such. You choose between Admiral Ozzel, Admiral Motti, Captain Piet, Captain Nida, General Veers, General Tag, Chief Bast. Choose wisely, gentlemen, and choose quickly. The Empire is not known for its patience. Rashmir out.
All right.
What?
Kind of scared.
Thank you, Rashmir, Captain
Um,
Rashmir, for that. So we're being offered positions in the Officers Academy.
It's
and
about
we can't
time.
Talk to Dengar. We can't talk to Dengar. I would like to counter offer, and say
Thrawn.
maybe none of those.
Thrawn, Admiral Thrawn.
No. I was gonna say Thrawn. I was gonna say Yularen
Ooh.
in the ISB.
But
I would
out of
like
those
to-
offers, who would you pick?
Man,
I would
don't
go with the
even
first
know.
one.
I would say General Veers.
Ooh.
Because, like, let me tell you something about the naval officers. Not many of them survived.
Hey, watch what you're saying. They're listening to us.
And neither did any of the army officers either. But I just say Veers. But if I had a choice, it would be Yularen for sure.
Jeremiah,
I don't know.
just pick one.
Well,
A, B, C, or D.
D.
D. And I'm gonna go with A. So there you go. So we would be separate, and we'd come together once a week and talk about what we learned.
All right. Well, like I said, we have a voicemail from Boss Nass.
Bosk.
Here we go.
We no care about the Naboo. We called Boss Nass, and you in some big doo-doo this time. Misa here that you know like Miss Combat General Jar Jar Binks. You saw in big doo-doo. Misa called Boss Nass.
All right.
Did you listen to this before it?
Yeah, I did. Boss Ness, I don't know how you got our number, but thank you for leaving that voicemail.
Welcome. Wow.
I don't even know where to begin with that.
That was awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah.
I could feel the
I-
spit all the way over here.
Yeah. Wow. Very impressive.
They could have used him putting out those fires on Endor. He just had to.
They just put him on a cart and have him do that for like an hour.
They just put him over. They fly him above it and just have him shake the whole time. That'd be dope.
All right. Well, he doesn't appreciate
Wow.
our dislike for Jar Jar.
Hey, I like Jar Jar.
I've never said I like Jar Jar.
I like Jar Jar.
Where is this coming from? Who's spreading these rumors?
I don't know. I like Jar Jar.
I have the Jar Jar original figure in box.
Wow. You just
I like Jar
flexed.
Jar.
Weird
That was
flex,
a,
but
that was a
okay.
weird flex. Okay.
I like Jar Jar. I'm young enough where Jar Jar was funny to me as a kid.
All right. Yeah. But thanks for making an appearance, Boss Nass. It's an honor. It's a huge honor to have such a high level Star Wars
A
figure.
Bombad.
Bombad leader. Yeah. Thank you for being here, making an appearance. If we ever need to go through the planet's core, we'll hit you up.
True.
We might need some transportation. Who knows? All right, now
There's always a bigger fish.
You're right. It's always a bigger fish. Now we have a voicemail from Zarnotopius, Hypnar the Third,
Awesome.
in the flesh.
Let's go. He's
Not
in
really,
the
just
chat,
a voicemail.
actually. He is in the
He's
chat.
also in the chat and in the Discord. So, anyways,
There you go.
here we go.
Hello, this is Zarnotopius Hypnar the Third at you with another message. I haven't been too active in the Discord lately. I always get lost in the super long
Welcome to the club.
conversations and stuff, so I usually just don't bother. But I thought I'd send you guys another message just because I love your podcast. And I had a very interesting question for you. If you could have a crossover event with any other cinematic universe, for example, Marvel, DC, or some other superhero universe that you guys like, with Star Wars, which would it be? I'd love to see Marvel and DC do a crossover. I think that would be awesome, especially after the Snyder Cut. But let me know what you guys think. See ya.
All right. First of all, sorry for the Discord thing. Sometimes the messages get going really quick.
I feel ya.
And
I
it's
feel
easy
ya.
to get lost. But we're thankful that you're still there.
And
Sometimes
Yes.
this is his first time in the stream.
Yeah. And
So welcome.
yeah, welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so he's asking if we could take Star Wars and any other property and
Combined them.
combine them in a crossover event. Okay, so I've got mine.
Go
I got
ahead.
mine.
Should we
Star
guess each
Wars-
other's?
Sure.
You're gonna say
my guess for Jeremiah is Star Wars and Marvel.
Me too. That's my guess for Jeremiah. Jeremiah.
Yeah, the MCU.
Yeah.
That's
Because the multiverse of madness is coming, so Star Wars would be just in another universe, and
Yeah, Jeremiah, for everyone that doesn't know, like, Jeremiah's a huge Marvel fan.
well, don't say that.
Don't say that.
I enjoy the MCU movies and the shows,
But he doesn't
but,
read the books.
but like I don't know the
Well, we know he doesn't read the books.
I don't know
it's
the
fine.
EU stuff. That's not canon. So
Wait a second. That doesn't work the
I
same
don't
way.
think it
What
works
do
the
you mean it
same
doesn't work
way.
the same.
It's
Doesn't
a
work the
completely
same.
different canon.
I'm saying
They're all within each other.
I don't know all the comic stuff, so like that stuff doesn't
Apply to you.
apply, and it doesn't
Gotcha.
apply to
Okay.
the MCU until they bring it in.
I gotcha. Okay.
My guess is
What's- I'm sorry, I just looked down at Riley just said Star Wars and Digimon for me. No, it's not Star Wars and Digimon.
dude, I
I
love
feel
Digimon.
like Andrew is gonna be
Star Wars and
Star
Harry
Wars
Potter.
and an anime. Of
I was
some
gonna
sort.
say Harry Potter.
It's not Harry Potter.
Oh,
Actually, though, I hadn't thought about Harry Potter. That's a good one. But no,
Have you seen the lightsaber versus?
we all
Yeah,
have.
I have. I would say I want to see Star Wars and Demon Slayer.
Ooh.
Like,
That's kind of
okay,
close to what I was
Yo,
thinking.
listen.
No, I get
Can you imagine, Drew,
Mm-hmm.
Palpatine? So instead of Michael
Mhm.
Jackson looking homeboy
Mm-hmm.
as the leader of the demons, I don't remember his name, so my
No, I
apologies.
get you,
I love
yeah.
it. I love it
Pale face,
with
yeah.
every fiber of my being, but I forgot his name.
Did you finish it?
Yes, I did, and
Did you watch the
I found out
movie?
Mugen Train is on Funimation right now, and they have a free trial.
Ooh, you better
So
sign
tomorrow night, your boy is
up.
watching Mugen Train.
And
Anyways,
you're gonna freak out. Let me know how it is.
oh, I'm gonna freak out. So can you imagine that instead of Michael Jackson Demon Boy behind the whole thing, it's Palpatine who's using Michael Jackson Demon Boy as a pawn?
Dude, heck yes. Let's
Bro,
go.
let's go. Let's go. That's the crossover I want. Anyways.
Mine, the crossover I want.
Oh, wait. Pause. Or Attack on Titan.
I was gonna say that. That was mine.
That's amazing. Sorry.
Oh.
Anyways.
Yes, Attack of Titan.
Yeah, that would be good.
That's all I have to say. It was
You
either
got no-
Attack of Titan or Lord of the Rings, but
Oh,
I would-
yeah.
Lord of the
I
Rings
would
would be
add,
really cool.
The Avatar Airbender. Last
Ooh,
Airbender.
Last Airbender.
That would be an interesting crossover.
I think that would
too.
make more sense. Like, even if they did like Star Wars stuff from like thousands and thousands of years earlier, where it was more primitive, and cross that over with
Ooh, that would actually be
Avatar
really
stuff.
cool. That would
Yeah.
flow really well. But yeah, no. Lord of the Rings, I feel like would be really fun, really cool story. But yeah, Attack of Titan.
Riley says Star Wars and Samurai Jack. That would be really interesting. I would really enjoy that. I also just read Star Wars and Shrek. That's not a thing. And Star Wars and the Matrix. That would be, if done well, I think that would be really interesting. Like that, if they did it well and they actually figured out the lore and how it would work together, that could be cool. That could be really cool.
Now back to Star Wars and Marvel. If Into the Spider-Verse somehow was with Star Wars, like they jumped into, that'd be
that animation style for Star Wars.
like
would
the
be
Clone Wars,
cool.
like the
I
Bad
mean,
Batch,
dude,
like
I'm-
goes into like, that'd be sick.
Star Wars and Doctor Who. That's a good one. Tanner, Star Wars canon and Star Wars EU. Yep. You and me both, buddy. You and me both. Anyways, so yeah.
You have EU Luke and canon Luke like side by side in the story.
And-
Or
Canon
pointing
Luke.
at each other like the Spider-Man meme.
And it's that meme, the Doge meme, where it's got like the super buff one,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then like the really wimpy one on the right side.
Mhm.
And that's like EU Luke versus canon Luke.
Or that's literally like the Luke figures that they came out with, those buff ones.
Oh, the power of
three.
the Force figures?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Awesome. Okay, so Zarnatopius, thank you. That was actually a really good
That was a
question.
good question. I liked it.
That's a good one. And this is a good example of a question that would be great for the episode where we do 12 and we do the whole episode
Mhm.
on voicemails. We don't want like 12 dad jokes. As much as I
Dude.
love dad jokes, we
Yeah.
need like actual substantial things to talk about. So,
Dude,
anyways,
Star Wars and World War Z.
I feel like anything related to like World War Z or like The Walking Dead, if Star Wars were a thing, it would go
wouldn't-
very
It'd go
differently.
fast.
Yeah, it would go fast.
We're-
I mean,
we're
but
gonna-
to be, but what? Hold on. Actually, though, Red Harvest is an expanded universe Star Wars zombie novel that takes place on a remote Sith academy.
Exactly. That would be.
And I'm
really
not gonna lie,
interesting.
the zombies give them a run for their money for most of the book.
Dude, Star Wars
So-
and Last of Us, Jeremiah.
No, The Last of Us is perfect the way it is. Sorry.
Okay, well.
But we could do Star Wars and Stranger Things.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, that might be
Like,
mine. That might be
Because
mine.
11, she
Yes,
would,
she's
has
like-
her telekinetic powers and like give
Oh,
her a lightsaber.
She needs a teacher.
like a Luke. A EU Luke.
Or like Kylo Ren.
Ahsoka trains 11.
Oh, dude, stop. I might
All
cry.
right, that's my next fan fiction, y'all.
okay,
So just so
dude.
you know.
Yeah, we'll start writing that, dude. Because I mean, we know there's more than just 11 of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
All right.
There's
Okay,
at
I
least
like
11.
this. I like this, Jeremiah. That's mine.
You know what else you're gonna like, Drew?
The next voicemail.
Oh, you're gonna love the next.
I
one.
saw
Dengar.
No, it's not
nope.
Dengar. Oh no.
I saw the email.
This is from our honorary fourth host, Drew's microphone.
Oh, this one.
You guys ready? He's got
Yep.
a
I
lot of really good stuff to say. You ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready
Here we
for
go.
this. I'm buckled in. Me too. Me too.
Thank
to,
you.
To answer the question.
Thank you so much, Drew's microphone. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Oh, why is this a thing? All right,
That was amazing.
That was good. That was
Thank
good.
you.
That was really good.
Thank you so much for sending that in.
That was a good question.
Speaking of amazing things, we have, I think, a first in Empire Radio history. We have a rap.
Shut up.
What?
We have a rap.
Are we like
feel like-
American Idol now all of a sudden?
Is this from
No.
Mithranu?
No, this is from Simon.
Oh, because I thought Mithranu said like months ago he wrote a Star Wars rap, but like he couldn't fit it all in 1 minute. I was
Oh,
You could have sent him multiple emails. We could have just.
like,
You could have done 2. Hey, you could do 2 voicemails with the same song, and Andrew can splice it and figure it out.
oh, I can.
Oh yeah.
I love how Drew's like he can splice and just figure it out.
I mean, or I can. How about that? I can do it too.
No, I can do it.
they're 2 sound files. You put them in, merge them into one. They're-
Exactly.
Jeremiah, that's not how audio editing works. Anyways, but yeah, we have our first rap, Star Wars rap. So here's Simon doing a Star Wars rap.
All right, let's
Let's
get
take
it.
a listen.
Back in the day, little boy Anakin loved the pod race. Padme escaped, dropped on one ape. The ending for Qui-Gon Jinn wasn't so great. Attack of the Clones, 10 years pass. Anakin's grown. He falls in love, but his master is captured. His mother is killed, and then that spells disaster. Ooh, Mace Windu. Anakin loses an arm to Count Dooku. Secret marriage, twins in the carriage. Palpatine savage, and Vader breaks through. Now to today, jumping ahead to a scrapper named Rey. Hey, team up with Poe and a stormtrooper Finn, who betrayed the First Order, so we let him in. BB-8, Solo versus Solo. Han met his fate. Rose got to work. Kylo won't put on a shirt. Kylo was kind of a flirt. Tracked down Luke. He was giving me hate until he saved the resistance. On crate. Now Skywalker's gone, but faith in the Force remains strong. Skywalker always lives on. Woo! You can't stop me. I'm a Jedi from Jakku. Fight the dark side from Tatooine to Naboo. Let go of everything that you fear to lose, and may the Force be with you.
that was actually quite a banger right there. That's pretty good.
Dude, if you
I looked down at the chat and Tanner goes, "What is the time signature?" I want to see Simon. I don't know if you like had a reference beat or something for that, but I
What?
want to hear it with a beat behind it at some point.
yeah, maybe you and Tanner can talk
The
something.
whole
Maybe
he didn't
Tanner
put
can.
on a shirt line or whatever it was.
Yeah,
something
that
like
was
that.
hilarious.
That and Qui-Gon, the part about Qui-Gon, those were my favorite parts.
Yeah.
So well done. I don't know if you wrote that or if you got it off the internet, but
So Andrew, was that a better song
Then the
than
Ewok
the
song,
opening of the Ewok song?
oh yeah, hands down,
hands down.
hands down. There's not even for me. There's not
Simon,
even a
that was
question. Simon,
good. And Tanner, you should make a beat for him, and you guys can figure that out. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Oh, Simon says it was a Daisy with Ridley rap on Jimmy Fallon.
Oh yes, I remember this.
Oh.
So
I
all we
do
need now is a
remember that.
beat.
I do
It was still
remember
better
this.
than the Ewoks intro.
I do remember that. It was cool that you performed it for us. That was dope.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Speaking of Simon, he actually sent in a question as well, and
Okay.
I listened to this one, and this is also a
That's
pretty
good.
good question. So let's take a listen.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that little rap.
We did.
And now here's my question. So during the Savage Opress and Darth Maul versus Darth Sidious duel in the Clone Wars, um, Savage Opress, spoiler alert, Savage Opress obviously dies, but if he did not die, what do you think
R.I.P.
would have happened? Besides, oh, they kill Sidious, but if Sidious didn't die, what do you think would have happened? Something with the Jedi, something with the clones? I don't know, but what do you guys think would have happened if Savage survived and Maul and Savage proved that they were a match or equal to Sidious? All right, thank you guys and have a great day.
All right. Thank you, Simon. That is a good question. I like that question a lot. Okay. And we did like the rap.
Yes.
Okay. So we're
I think
assuming
I think so. So it's kind of like twofold. Like, what would happen if he survived and they defeated Sidious? Also, if he survived but didn't defeat Sidious. So like, I think that if they kind of like defeated Sidious, but like they didn't kill him, but like he like escaped, he would have returned with Dooku, and then they would
oh
have
yeah.
they would have destroyed Maul and Savage. But
I would have loved to see that fight.
That'd be cool.
Dooku and Sidious versus him and Savage, like assuming that him and Savage were good enough to take on Sidious together, that would make that second fight even better for me.
I just want to see Dooku with his his arm behind his back fighting both
Same.
of them. Like,
Same.
Yeah.
That would be really cool, actually.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. I would say so if they defeated Palpatine on Mandalore, there would be a moment where nothing would change because no one would know Palpatine's dead.
True.
And then I think Maul would take the lead and do one of two things. One, come out and take control of Dooku. Well, because that's the other thing. Like, if Maul and Savage kill Sidious, the next thing they would have to do is take out Dooku. They would have to, because he's a direct threat to whatever legacy or like whatever power they're trying to hold on to. So they would have to face Dooku, right? And then at that point, I guess the big question would be, how much does Maul know about what Palpatine is doing on both sides?
Mm-hmm.
we know he didn't know about Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right. And so it's like, I would assume Order 66 would never happen. But
crazy.
what evil would take the place of Palpatine in the form of Maul and Savage? I don't even think Maul's ambitions were that grand. Like, I don't think he cared about the galaxy as a whole, like ruling the galaxy as a whole. I just think he wanted his own little section of power and control, because like I don't think Maul ever really wanted to rule the whole thing. Now, he did spend a lot of time under Sidious in the Phantom Menace and leading up to that, so I mean, it could be possible that he knows about Palpatine's secret identity, but I also don't think he did.
I don't think he
Palpatine
did.
kept that from him.
Yeah, I don't
so
think
it's
he did.
like, oh man,
I feel like as soon as he saw Anakin come off the ship, he knew that was going to be his new apprentice.
yeah. So I guess the thing is like, they kill Sidious, and assuming they kill Dooku as well, they then have the entirety of the Jedi Order to take care of, assuming they don't know about Order 66.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because and then they're pretty much on the run. I mean, because like, if they kill Sidious, there's a good chance that they might be able to take on Yoda or Mace by themselves. But if they were to team up in like the classic Jedi fashion, they probably wouldn't win.
But I just wonder how the war would play out. Because if Palpatine or Sidious is killed, then Palpatine goes missing. And so, how does the Republic react to their Supreme Chancellor going missing? Like, would that make the Separatists like stronger? Like their ability to take out the Republic forces because they don't have a leadership? But then if they took out Dooku, then like both sides don't have a leader, and then I feel like the war would just.
Well, the thing, it's all based on timing, because like Dooku did know about Palpatine. He knew about Palpatine.
Yeah.
He didn't know about the full plan, which is very evident in the fact that he was killed in Revenge of the Sith, and he was not expecting to be killed. But he did know about Palpatine playing the double role.
Right.
So let's say Palpatine dies, and there's a little bit of time before they get to Dooku. Like, what would Dooku would basically have to improvise as leader of the Separatists?
But he would know Order 66. Does he? Because he supplied the chip. But does he know like it's called like execute Order 66 to activate it?
I mean, that could be something that Maul and Savage could learn while they're confronting him too. But then the question is, does Maul pull the trigger?
That is
okay. So it's funny when I heard this question, I was like, this could be its own Cantina discussion. And the more that we're talking about it, the more I'm realizing that it could be its own Cantina discussion. But it's a
good
great
question.
It's a really good question.
If I go the route that Palpatine escaped, I feel like those two would team up and run the underbelly of the galaxy.
Which
Maul
was trying to do anyway. Like
exactly. But I feel like he would have with those two together, they could do a lot more than just what Maul was doing.
And a lot of what Maul was doing was to like ruin Sidious's plan, because like his ultimate goal was to kill Anakin so that his prized possession would be taken. So like, I think if Maul ever won, like he wouldn't know what to do next. Like in a sense, he wouldn't have
a second plan.
Right.
Yeah. I do think that if Sidious got away, didn't kill them, they went into hiding, that there's a possibility, there's a chance that it could be Palpatine and Vader later, much later, versus him and Savage. Which, I mean, assuming that they're powerful enough to beat Sidious 2-on-1, like a weakened Anakin, like pretty quickly after he gets into the suit. I don't know, dude. Like that, they might actually have a chance of winning.
And they'd probably be like training even more too.
Yeah.
So
I get this picture of like Maul versus Vader, and Maul's like, "I'm gonna take your legs from you, just like mine were," and Vader's like, "Joke's on you, I don't have any legs."
Oh gosh.
And then they both realize that it was from Obi-Wan, and they become friends.
Oh
yeah. Ooh. They team
twist.
up together to find Obi-Wan.
All right. Oh man, I could go on that for a while.
Yeah, I feel like we can.
Thank you, Simon. That's a really
good
question.
one, Simon.
Good job. Yeah. All right, we have one of two, the first of two voice messages from Rogue. And it's funny because I have these labeled as Rogue 1 and Rogue 2 in the soundboard. So let's listen to Rogue 1.
Hello, Empire Radio. It's Rogue. I would like to know what you guys think is going to happen with Bo-Katan and the Darksaber, and with Din Djarin having the Darksaber. Do you think they're going to fight it out, or are they going to find some way to bend the rules so they don't have to fight each other? Do you think Din Djarin will be the next new ruler of Mandalore? I honestly really hope so, but probably not. Alright, bye.
Rogue, thank you so much. That is also a really good question. There's a lot of different outcomes that they could do. I am hoping personally that that is a source of tension for them the entirety of season 3.
I hope we pick up.
Maybe they don't
spot.
fight, huh?
I hope we pick up at that spot.
Yeah, I mean, like, I want there to be tension between those two characters. I do. I want there to be some sort of an underlying thing, at the very least, and at best case scenario, like something that's in your face a lot more.
Not
It is
them
interesting.
playing rock paper scissors, and whoever wins gets the saber.
Right. Yeah. It is interesting that we now know that Book of Boba Fett has a full season, because in the expanding universe, he does end up becoming the Mandalore. So Boba Fett, in technicality, could be a potential third contender. So could Sabine. There's a lot of possibilities
Yeah.
here, but I would say between the two of them, though, I really hope that there is a pretty good amount of tension between them, if not an actual fight.
I feel like Boba is not going to be a contender only because it seems like he wants to take over like
A crime
the
lord.
crime lord side, like the Jabba side.
We don't know if he wants to be a crime lord, though.
True, I guess we
see
don't
him.
know.
We see him
but
take over the Jabba palace thing, but like that doesn't mean he
that
wants to
doesn't
be
mean
a
anything.
crime lord.
True.
I guess I have a different opinion now because I'm reading through the War of the Bounty Hunter series.
Not canon, but yeah.
It's not okay. Gosh darn it! You're literally missing out on so much.
No,
so
I'm
much
not
good
saying. I'm
storytelling.
just saying
No,
like
it's fine. It's fine. All I'm saying is the Boba Fett in those books, if he's anything like the Boba Fett, or if the Boba Fett in canon now is anything like the one in the books, he probably doesn't want to rule a criminal empire.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that we just see Boba Fett. Like, why would they have him sit down in that chair?
yeah.
So it wasn't him trying to take that crime
Position.
syndicate's position. Like, it just makes sense.
That's true.
But I've said it a million times, and I'll keep saying it until it happens. But I think the way the Mandalorian series is going to end is Din Djarin is going to have the Darksaber, and he's going to be sitting on the back of a mythosaur with the Darksaber ignited, and that's everyone's on Mandalorian is going to be united, and they're all going to be bowing down to him. That's how it's going to end.
Wow.
That's
All
a bold
right.
claim.
That is really intense. And if
You
it
heard it here
happens,
first.
then they stole another thing from you, Jeremy.
Yeah. Like,
And all we want is our merch back. But
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else on
No.
that one?
Nope.
All right. On to Rogue 2.
Hello, Empire Radio. It's Rogue.
Hello
I want
there.
to see if you guys know anything about the Jedi Academy Middle School series. It's an okay series. There's not a lot of action in it, but it's basically what the title is. It's a Jedi in middle school. I want to see if you guys have ever read it or even heard of it. But if you have, this will be kind of surprising because I don't think they're very popular. Thank you guys for making amazing, like, Twitch streams, and your Discord is awesome. Bye.
bye.
Thanks, Rogue.
I have not heard of that.
Thanks for the kind words. I actually had to look it up because I didn't realize what he was talking about, and then I looked it up, and then I realized I had seen the books in like Target and stuff, but I'd never read them. So I also got this confused with like the Jedi. They just recently did a thing where Ahmed Best plays like a Jedi Master. It's like a reality, well, not a reality show.
Yeah. It's like these kids. They just do like obstacle courses, like they're Padawans or something.
Yeah, it reminded me of like Legends of the Hidden Temple. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. Jeremiah, I know you're old enough to have seen that.
Was it like a tribal?
Yeah, on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I vaguely remember watching that.
No, I remember that.
What was that called?
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Is that the one they're making like an adult
Supposedly.
version of it?
Supposedly.
Like not like adult, like inappropriate,
we
but like
we
for
we got
adult
it. Yeah, because there have been tons of memes where it's been like, y'all waited too late. My back hurts now. My knees hurt. Like people that watched the original show, we're all old enough now. We're like, there's no way I'm doing this. But yeah, no, I haven't read the Jedi Academy series. If
they
it's
canon?
interesting, I do know that it is definitely recent enough. It could be canon, but it also like features like a young Luke Skywalker and other Jedis. So like, I don't know if it's like, I don't think it's canon as a part of the Skywalker saga. So
All right.
yeah, yeah.
People said in the chat, definitely not canon. So maybe.
Yeah, definitely not canon. Okay, so but if it's good, Rogue, let me know, and who knows, I might be able to check it out.
Or we can check it out on the podcast.
Oh yeah, we can do an episode about it. I can see Jeremiah shaking his head right now, if not physically, mentally. All right, so we have two more voicemails. We have one from Riley and one from David.
Ooh.
And I hope I'm realizing that there might have been an error downloading these. So I hope they're correct. But we will see. Let's listen to the one from Riley.
Hey guys, Riley here. I'm out here in this Florida heat. I hopped in my truck now to cool off to record this. But I'm working through all my in a storage unit. And just wanted to say that in case I cannot make it tonight, I hope it's a great stream as it is always. And to point out the fact that if I'm out here sweating and still have the time to leave a voicemail, what's stopping everybody else?
Oh.
But other than that, have a great night, guys.
Boom.
When I listen, boom, Bacarna. All right. When I listened to that, I was like, burr, 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 burr. Riley, thank you so much for sending that in. And there's your challenge.
There's your challenge.
He lives in Florida. It's hotter than a volcano's butt crack down there. And he's cleaning out a storage unit. He said, I'm going to take a break, get in my car, and record a voicemail. So it literally only takes 1 minute. Because that's the actual limit for how much you can say. So,
Jeremiah, did you know that volcanoes had butt cracks?
Okay. I did not know that.
Interesting.
Well,
you learn something new every day.
Have you ever seen one?
No.
I'm sorry, I don't go looking for such things.
Well, then you can't prove that they're not real.
And I don't want to Google it, so I I can't search for things anyway.
All right. Anyways, last but surely not least, let's listen to the voicemail from David.
Hey, gentlemen, it's your boy David from the Discord. I'm only here for the imp coin. And also, I wanted to know why Jeremiah prefers baking over cooking. That doesn't make any sense, dude. Cooking's easier. You don't have to measure stuff.
For real. Thank you.
Anyways, sorry I couldn't be there for the Ewoks episode. I'm sure you guys will kill it.
You were definitely here for most of it, but yeah.
Yeah, he definitely was. Oh boy.
What
right,
do
Jeremiah,
you?
You're on the stand.
So baking is way easier because you can use precise measurements.
Sound like my wife.
If anyone hasn't realized yet, Jeremiah is very much like a precise measurement type of guy.
True.
Like he prefers that more than controlled chaos.
Yes. So like baking, you just you weigh out. Your 1 cup of flour is 130 grams. It's like you get perfect every time. You can weigh out everything else with grams and get exactly. You just
scales are your friend.
Do that. You do your techniques of just mixing things properly, and you're good to go. I can't cook like a whole like. I've worked at a meat market for 15 years now, and I don't know how to cook meat properly. Like, unless I can just put it in a pan and put it in the oven and bake it. Like,
okay, Jeremiah, I disagree because you made me and Andrew once the best brats I think I've ever had in my life. Remember that, Andrew?
First of all, you don't remember that, Andrew?
No, I do. I was waiting for you to say first of all.
First of all, those are smoke brats, so they're already fully cooked, so they just need to be warmed through.
He did. Okay.
Secondly,
he did make us some fire deep dish pizza though.
But that's kind of baking because the dough
That is baking.
Okay, whatever.
doesn't count.
And so those brats, though, they're smoked brats, so they're already fully cooked, so they had to be warmed through. Also, like you
They're
had,
still fire.
because this is at Drew's house, and he
Old
had
house.
a gas stovetop, which is way easier to cook on than my stupid janky electric stovetop. I hate electric stovetops; they're the worst. And so,
True.
like, maybe I'd be better at cooking if I could actually use a.
That's fair. Jeremiah, I'm looking at houses
Gas.
right now, and any single
Yeah.
time I see electric stovetop, I'm like, Jeremiah would not approve of us buying this house.
No, and then you
just move on. Go to the next
Go
one.
to the next one. And so baking can be difficult, but because there's some techniques that are difficult, but there's more difficulty in cooking techniques, I think.
In Jeremiah's defense, my wife is the exact same. She hates to cook, but if she's one of those people that, like, if it's the recipe, she'll do exactly what it says, and she gets mad if it says, like, a sprinkle of salt, and she's like,
Oh, gosh,
how
I
much
hate
salt? I'm like, just...
And I hate when, like, people, like, say add a pinch of salt, and, like,
Yes.
okay, I'm just thinking, like a 1/16 of a teaspoon, and they do it, and it's just like, and it's just, like, falling for, like, a minute out of their hand, like, when they're doing a pinch. Like, that's not a pinch.
Okay. I mean, I don't do any of that, so
I mean, I love cooking.
Scales come in handy when I'm making coffee. I can't. You can't make coffee without a scale. If
You
you're doing it
shouldn't.
correctly.
No, you shouldn't make coffee without a scale.
Yeah,
You can, but you shouldn't.
Yeah. I feel like without a scale, I'm going in completely blind. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing without a scale. But I will say that my wife is really good at baking and cooking, and she does both. She improvises a lot, and she also does recipes to the T sometimes. So that's all I have to say about that.
All right.
But do you know what I do have a lot to say about?
Social medias.
Social media and the ways that you can connect with us. There are a few different ways. We've kind of hinted at a few of them. So I'm going to start with the ones that we've actually discussed. One of which is twitch.tv/Empire Radio. If you're already on Twitch, you have an account, you like watching streams of people doing stuff, you can actually do the same thing with our podcast. So every Tuesday and every Friday, as long as the Bad Batch is running at 8
Or
p.m. Central,
any
9
show.
p.m. Or any show that comes out on Fridays. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, we do stream video and audio of the recordings of these podcast episodes on twitch.tv/Empire Radio. If you miss a stream, but you want to see the video version, they are all uploaded to YouTube. So you can go onto YouTube and search Empire Radio, a Star Wars podcast. All of them are uploaded by Drew onto YouTube following the recordings of the episodes. And another thing that we mentioned already is that we have a Discord server. And there's more and more as the Discord grows, the more and more inside jokes are seeping in to the podcast recordings and the chats on the Twitch stream. So if you want to be a part of that, it's super easy. It's a great community to be a part of, and we have a lot of fun. So yeah, feel free to join that Discord. If you're going to do any of those things, the Discord is definitely the most important for sure. So if you want to join, there is a link. We have a landing page link that is in the link of our Instagram bio, Empire Radio Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. It's the same handle, at Empire Radio Podcast. You can go to the link in our bio on Instagram, and you click that. It's also on our Twitch account as well, and it opens up. It's got links to all of our social media accounts that I mentioned so far, as well as links to both join the Discord, because you do need to click the invite link, and to leave us a voicemail. So if you were listening to the voicemails and you're like, I have a question or I have something, and I'd love to ask the guys on Empire Radio, or I'd love to just crack a joke. We have that happen sometimes as well. There is a link below our on all the streaming services that you can listen to the podcast. So in the description, there's a link there. There is a link in that landing page that I mentioned before, in the link in our Instagram bio. It is if you're watching on Twitch, the links are being posted there. The links are also in our Discord server under the social medias channel on the left-hand side. And there is a link for the Discord as well on our Facebook page. So it's all interconnected. Like if you can get to the Discord, you can pretty much get to everything else. And if you can get to that Instagram landing page that's also in our Twitch stream, you can also pretty much get to everything else. It's all interconnected. So again, Facebook, Instagram at Empire Radio Podcast, YouTube, Empire Radio, a Star Wars podcast, twitch.tv/Empire Radio, and the Discord server as well. Come hang out. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, it really is. And I'd say like 90% of all the voicemails we receive, if not like 95%, are from people from the Discord. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
But if you haven't sent a voicemail yet, send it.
I feel like
what are you waiting for?
Even if you don't want us to play it, we will still answer your questions on air.
Yeah,
correct.
If it doesn't matter.
And if the ladies out there, you can send some voicemails too. Like, it was all guys tonight. Like,
yeah, come on, show up.
Come on,
we do need some diversity for sure.
Too much testosterone in these voicemails.
Granted, we don't know. I mean, maybe my mic stand is a female. We don't know that.
That's we don't know for sure. If anyone would know though, you would. You just ask.
Yeah, it's he or she is on screen right now. Like,
you can ask.
Don't.
Or if you want, anyways, all right. You know what? This has been another wizard episode of the Empire Radio Podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.